Let me get the chop in this fable. We in the building. DB4. Die Before Me Gaming. Salute to the subscribers, man. Hey yo, let me know if you vibing or if you subscribing. Shout me a holler in the comment section. DBMG, what up? All my RTS people, what up? All my RPG people, what up? Oh, we gonna get it together. Let's turn up.
Yeah, you already figured the streets out. Yeah, well, it's all about smiles and cries. Put the joint down, man. What the fuck is that? Hold on, Lonzo, hold on. Smiles and cries. Smiles and cries. Smiles and cries, I hear you. Yeah, you gotta control your smiles and cries. Because that's all you have. And nobody can take that away from you. Oh, shit.
Your father was a bard, drifting from chieftain hall to chieftain's hall, making his living singing the praises of one Britannian aristocrat and mocking his enemies, then going to his enemy's hall and doing the reverse. You learned from him that a clever tongue could spare you from a life toddling in the fields, if you kept your wits about you. Now, you were always drawn to animals and spent much time as possible hanging out in the village stables. You could calm horses and were sometimes called upon to break in new cults. You learned the basics of the veterinary arts, much of which is applicable to humans. Like all village children, you helped out in the fields, and I also gathered herbs in the wild. Now with this, we're going to be like, you were sent by the village healers up into the hills to look for useful medicinal plants. You learned which herbs healed wounds or brought down fever, and how to find them. We actually trained with the infantry, levy and armed with spear and shield, drawn from small holding farmers, have always been the backbone of most Calradian armies. We actually, before we set out for life of adventure, our biggest achievement was we treated people well. And here it goes. Yours wasn't the kind of reputation that local legends are made of, but it was the kind that wins you respect amongst those around you. You were constantly fair and honest in your business dealings and helpful to those in trouble. In doing so, you got a good sense of what made people tick. Now, like many families in Calradia, your life was upended by war. Your home was ravaged by the passage of army after army. Eventually, you sold your property and set off with your father, mother, brother, and 2 younger siblings to a new town you heard was safer. But you did not make it. Along the way, the inn in which you were staying was attacked by raiders. Your parents were slain and your 2 youngest siblings seized, but you and your brother survived because you subdued a raider. So you were able to grab a knife in the confusion of the attack. You stab a raider blocking your way and made our escape.
Brother, it's been 3 days now we've been tracking those bastards. I think we're getting close. We need to think about what happens when we catch them. How are we going to rescue our brother and sister? Are we up for a fight? This looks like an old training field for the legions. Perhaps we can spare some time and brush up on our skills. The practice could come in handy when we catch up with the raiders.
Alright, I'm gonna run the course. I need to know I can fight if I have to.
Let's go on then.
I'm Orthos, head man of this village. What brings you here?
We need help. Some raiders have taken our younger brother and sister captive. We think they may have passed this way.
They got your people too? Sorry to hear that. Those bastards have done a bit of killing and looting in these parts as well. We think they've gone north. I reckon there are a few folk around here who'll join you in going after them if you'll pay for their gear. Once you've made your preparations, come and talk to me again. I may have a task for you if you're going after the raiders.
All right. You rescue several prisoners that the raiders have been dragging along. They look parched and exhausted. You give them a bit of water and bread, and after a short while, one staggers to his feet and comes over to you.
I don't know who you are, but I'm in your debt. These brigands would have marched us to our deaths. My name's Tactios. I'm a doctor by trade. I was on, well, a bit of a quest, but I'm now thinking I'm not really made for this kind of thing. I was with a caravan and they just came out of the brush. We were surrounded and outnumbered, so we gave up. I figured they'd keep us alive, if just for the ransom. But then they started flogging us along at top speed without any water, and I was just about ready to drop. I could feel the signs of heat stroke creeping up, and I told them, but they just flogged me more. If your group hadn't come along, maybe I have a way to thank you properly.
We're looking for 2 children captured by the raiders. Can you tell us anything?
I'm afraid I haven't seen any children, but after our caravan was attacked, the chief of the raiders, the one they call Radagos, took and rode off with our more valuable belongings, including a chest that I had.
All right.
He seemed to be controlling more than one band around this area. If this lot has your kin, then I think he'd be the one to know. And since I have nothing of value left to repay your help, I'll tell you this. If you do catch up with and defeat that ruffian, you may be able to recover my chest. It contains a valuable ornament, which I was told could be of great value if you knew where to sell it. I was trying to find out more about it, but, as I say, I've had all my urge for travelling flogged out of me. Right now, I don't think I'd venture more than 20 paces from a well as long as I live.
We'll keep that in mind.
It doesn't look like much, and I suspect this lot will give it away for a few coins. But I got it from a mercenary whom I treated once, and he swore it was related to Neretz's folly. I don't know what that means, except that Neretes was of course the emperor who died in battle some years back. Maybe you could find out its true value.
Neretes' folly.
Thanks for saving me again. I hope our paths will cross again.
Quest completed. We rescued the traveler. It's been 15 days since we set out from the training field, me and my older brother, looking for our parents' murderer and the kidnapper of our younger siblings. It didn't take us much time until we were able to track down a band of raiders who were kidnapping people along the countryside. We managed to rescue a merchant who knew exactly where the bandit leader's hideout was. We attacked the hideout and managed to capture the bandit leader, but our kin was nowhere to be found. My brother and I decided that we would have much more luck retrieving our siblings if we split up. He left it up to me to raise money and gather a small army. So I raised our clan's banner, the Golden Dragon. The Nogard name shall be known throughout the lands, and we will seek revenge. It's been more than 2 seasons since our parents were murdered and our siblings were kidnapped. Back in the early parts of the summer, me and my brother decided to split ways after we crushed the original kidnappers. He decided to take the bandit leader to get more information, and I headed out to raise our clan's banners and bring glory to the Nogard name. It's currently the 16th of winter. The men that follow me are well-trained, tough fighters. And I've managed to gain a little bit of fame and coin at the tournaments in the big towns. I took the men on a trip to the north to buy furs for some trade in the south. This was also good for coin. After some hard-fought battles, I was finally able to raise our clan's ranks to the next level. With the size of my army growing more and more, it's time we got some companions and introduce these brave heroes to the Nogard clan. As the seasons come and go, the clan name lives on. I am REVLIS NOGARD. I was born to a family of bards, small folk, who perform for the local lords of Britannia. Both of my parents were murdered and my younger siblings kidnapped when we decided to flee our homeland because of the ongoing wars. It did not take long to track down the original kidnappers, Radagast and his gang. We also stumbled upon an ancient artifact that had something to do with Neretez's folly or something. I was able to gain renown for the Nogard clan, fighting in the tournament grounds and impressing the nobles, as well as hiring caravans to acquire wealth. I even managed to gain some loyal followers, Regbold the Brave and Gunthric Barrelchest. A few seasons after we picked up the trail of our siblings, my older brother was also captured and held for ransom. I was able to mount a swift rescue with the help of my new companions. With the family reunited and the younger siblings safe, no longer will we flee from war. It's been little over a year since our parents were slain inside of that dreadful inn. From this point on, we shall raise a powerful army and return home to Britannia to uncover the truth. Why did our family truly leave our homeland? Was the incident with our parents a senseless murder, or were they assassinated? I shall not rest until the truth is known.